Don't tell me. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. My name is Mike. Joining me again for our WandaVision reaction series is my sister Jenny.
Hey, hey, hey.
Jenny's been adding, as you guys have noticed, a little bit of an intellectual ingredient to the channel that I was lacking before, but whether or not you're going to come back and do some base Star Wars stuff with me in the future, we'll see, but right now
anything's possible.
Just enjoying WandaVision. It's been great. It was a little bit of a slow start maybe, but then things really started to ramp up. Last week we got Monica Rambeau's episode, essentially, and we got the Sword perspective on all of this. And the funny thing is that Sword's perspective is essentially our perspective. Everything is just as much of a mystery to them as it is to us, so...
Yeah, I think we're going to get the 80s this week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see big hair. I want to hear synthesizers. I'm ready.
Lots of neon lights, everything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We're going to see what is new in
definitely,
Westview.
There's been a lot of, I don't know how much you've dug into, you know, sort of like what people are saying online this last week, but I've definitely watched some videos, I've seen some theories and things, and we're definitely going to be looking for some outside Marvel characters, perhaps even some X-Men characters to show up in WandaVision eventually. I'm crossing my fingers. My big prediction is that Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Professor Xavier.
Nothing in this universe would make me happier, but right now I definitely think whoever it is, we're going to start to meet some new characters.
Because they've been saying there's going to be a Luke Skywalker level, like, character reveal at some point, and Paul Bettany made some hint about there's some actor that he's always wanted to work with or something way back when that he got to work with.
So that's either Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen,
yeah,
right?
I think he's already worked with Ian McKellen on Da Vinci Code.
That's true.
So, yeah, it really looks like maybe some cool character
All
appearances
things are
in the cards.
possible in the wonderful world of WandaVision. Say that 10 times fast.
Yes.
And for now, let's just watch the episode.
Sounds good. All right, we're going to dive right in. Yeah, okay. Definitely getting the 80s.
Already.
Just from the thumbnail, you can see.
Jazzercise.
It's already so 80s.
So good.
Don't you want to sleep?
They're growing fast.
The hair is its own character. I love it.
Try reading to him, but for some reason Charles Darwin's The Descent of Man made him cry even harder.
It's almost like we're on a date.
Oh my god, her outfit.
Go to sleep. Why won't you do what I want?
They can resist her powers.
These are the next generation of, you know, Avengers
but
characters.
also a bad guy can use that to their advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, steal that power from them.
What are we doing wrong?
Perhaps we all need more time to get to know one another.
Maybe we just need some help.
Hiya, kids.
Oh my god, this jazzercise outfit. I'm here for it.
Oh, I was just on my way to Jazzercise when I heard your new little bundles of joy were on a sleep strike. Auntie Agnes is here, and I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve.
Just maybe we better not.
Do you want me to take that again?
Is she acknowledging
She's
that
asking her to rewind
Wanda's
it.
the director of this
Yeah.
You want
scene?
me to hold the babies. Should we just take it from the top?
There you go.
What was that about?
What was what?
What was what? That with Agnes just now. Did you really not see what I saw?
Agnes is just being neighborly, that's all.
Yeah.
They finally fell asleep.
Their auntie.
Then where are the twins?
Mommy? Daddy?
Oh, creepy.
They're 4. Yeah, it's a little bit shining over here. Oh my god.
Well, hi.
That was just the most unsettling mix of things. There were like horror movie elements.
The Shining.
There was like a Shining thing
twins.
going on, but still the
Yeah.
like soothing sitcom, like happy ending music.
Yep.
This is like Family Ties,
Yep.
the up version. MJ Fox forever. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
It's even the font.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's like a Full House even, right?
That would be like a super meta inside
so meta,
reference
yeah.
for Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah. Just already mixing these creepy, surreal elements with this like super soft rock 1980s thing.
Does Maximoff have an alias?
No, sir.
No funny nickname.
Oh, they call her Scarlet Witch?
The earliest tracking had her using her powers against the Avengers.
Right before she earned their trust and became one herself.
Lagos and Germany. We all know how that turned out. Thanks, Jimmy.
It's just
Yeah,
little
so-
explanations that allow people to watch this on its own in case they're not really
Sure, but it
familiar.
also means like he views her only as a villain.
Yeah,
Wu is
that's
going to be
true.
trying to save her.
Yeah.
Wanda's not a terrorist.
By your own account, you described the experience as excruciating, terrifying, a violation. She's holding thousands of people hostage.
And it could have been thousands more if she hadn't put up her own quarantine. I don't believe this is a premeditated act of aggression.
This morning, I received authorization to share this highly sensitive material from Sword Headquarters. It was the top secret location of the Vision's corpse.
This is what we've heard about. A few people online have said there was a scene cut where she retrieved his corpse, and I
Yeah.
guess this is some version of that scene.
Yeah.
So she is puppeting his
Yep,
dead body
yep,
around.
you were right last
he
week,
is
yep.
corpse
Stole the
bride.
Vision's body and resurrected him.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be anybody's weapon.
Maximoff, in her grief, disregarded his wishes.
But he still doesn't fully comprehend what's going on. He knows something is, but he doesn't want to be Ultron again.
What happens when he learns the truth?
Yep. He's figuring it out, too.
Oh no, Mommy's coming.
Which one of you just barked?
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, Mom, can we keep him?
Can we keep him, Mommy?
Oh.
Taking care of a living thing is a big responsibility.
Oh, she should know.
Did you name him yet?
How about Sniffy?
How about Sparky?
Okay, so... Oh, okay. She didn't do it in front of her.
I was just gonna say.
Well, she didn't notice. She didn't even notice when the boys went from babies to 5-year-olds.
You made no effort to conceal your abilities.
Well, I'm tired of hiding this.
Why aren't you telling me?
You're dead, bro.
Your father and I don't think you're ready to properly care for an animal until you're at least 10 years old.
They're gonna grow up instantly, right?
Now,
No.
Let's just hope this dog stays the same size.
I know an aerospace engineer who'd be up for this challenge.
Which character are we
Who
talking
is
about?
this?
Can't guarantee the hex won't just mind wipe you as you go in.
What's a hex?
Oh, it's what I'm calling the anomaly because of its hexagonal shape.
Witch's Hex.
Yeah,
makes
it's not
sense.
a big leap.
Have we identified these minors yet, or the newborns?
Oh, Wanda's twins are hers. Everything might look fake in the TV, but everything in there is real.
If all the sets and props and wardrobe were solid matter, that would mean she's wielding an insane amount of power.
Far exceeding anything she's displayed in the past.
What was that you were saying about props and sets and
Wardrobe?
where's the lab?
Oh, her 70s clothes? Mm-hmm. Is that what she's thinking about? Because remember we said, like, oh yeah, she got kicked out, but her clothes stay the same. So stuff that she makes inside stays the same once
the
it
same.
leaves. Yeah.
That indicates
Potentially
that,
Vision.
Well, I
could
was just
live
gonna say it
outside, yeah.
indicates that her twins are gonna survive in the real
Indeed,
world,
yeah. Correct.
and then we'll see what happens with Vision.
Yep, she's checking out her pants. Bell bottoms.
Can I borrow this?
Whoa!
Bulletproof pants.
You had a bulletproof vest on when you went inside, didn't you?
Those pants are 87% Kevlar.
Oh!
Wanda is rewriting reality.
Hazmat became beekeeper.
Yeah.
What happens if we send something in that requires no change?
Ah. Time period appropriate.
This is a typewriter, a Rolodex, and a calendar all in one? That's gonna find me a wife?
Eventually, yes.
Eventually, yes.
It's like you speak their language.
Betty, you have no idea.
Sword. Top secret communique.
Oh,
Authenticate.
from Darcy Lewis.
Yep.
It's a joke. Can't you tell? None of it is real. Please help me. How long has it been?
This is the real dude from
Yeah,
the
yep,
outside.
Yep. Vision will come up.
You have to stop.
This
her.
is like Get Out.
Just make her stop!
Okay, well, Vision has the power to do that.
If I send an email, where would I put the stamp?
he can do that to any character though. He can wake anybody up, potentially the whole town.
His family is forever.
Do you have a brother, Mom?
I do. He's far away from here, and that makes me sad.
Hey, Sparky, what's up, boy? Something's scaring him.
Another drone.
Drone?
I know this is tech from the 80s, but can we sharpen the visuals?
She sent in an 80s drone. Nice.
This is Captain Monica Rambeau. Can you hear me? I just want to talk. That's it.
Uh-oh.
Controls aren't working. Reconnect patch.
Disregard. Take the shot.
Yeah.
He's got
trigger
some
happy.
other motivation. Who are you working for, man?
What did you do?
There's a breach, sir.
Something's coming out. Is it Vision?
I was gonna say, I bet he is.
He got
that
their
email.
message. Yeah, he got their email.
He got
yeah.
their electronic mail.
Nope.
Oh, no, that's her.
She's gonna be like, stay the fuck away.
Carrying the dead drone. That is hella creepy.
Is this yours?
You can hardly blame us, Wanda.
This will be your only warning.
Ooh.
Stay out of my home. You don't bother me, I won't bother you.
Her little accent,
The accent
is
came
coming
back,
back.
Yep.
You've taken an entire town hostage.
You trusted me to help deliver your babies. Wanda, you know I am an ally. I want to help you.
What could you possibly have to offer me?
No, what's she gonna do? She just threw her little wrist as if she didn't even care.
Oh, okay. She just made it so that you can't get in.
Nobody
now.
can get
Yeah.
in. She closed the firewall.
You've got a mess.
Another commercial.
Yeah.
You need Lagos brand paper towels.
Lagos.
Husbands can use it too, you know.
You got Stark. You got Hydra. You got Lagos. All these commercials.
Hey, what's the trouble, little dudes?
We can't find your dog.
Your mom won't let him get far.
More and more characters just acknowledging that she's the one in charge.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come until I'd wrapped him up.
Uh-oh.
What happened to him?
I didn't find him until it was too late. I'm so sorry.
Wait. Don't age yourselves up. The urge to run from this feeling is powerful. There are rules in life.
She's not following her own
She's
rules.
breaking
Yeah.
the biggest one.
We can't reverse death, no matter how sad it makes us.
But she is.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him back, Mom.
Bring who back? I spoke with Norm. I unearthed the man's suppressed personality and I spoke to him free of your oversight.
Wow.
He was in pain, Wanda.
Vision.
He just laid it all out on the table.
Turn in for the night so that you can
He's kind of pissed.
change everything. You can't control me the way you do them.
Can't I?
And then she just ends the conversation by ending the
Credits,
episode,
yeah.
literally.
Norm has a family, Wanda. You won't let him reach
I
them.
don't know what you're talking about.
Stop lying to me.
Let me handle it.
What is outside of Westview?
You don't want to know.
You don't get to make that choice for me, Wanda. I can't remember my life before Westview. I don't know who I am.
You are my husband. You're Tommy and Billy's father. Isn't that enough?
Wanda, why are there no other children in Westview?
Look, there are. Just stop it.
No. The playground stands empty every morning I walk to work.
I don't know how any of this started in the first place.
What you're doing here, it's wrong. It is wrong.
I didn't do that. You don't believe me.
At this point, I'm ignoring statistics entirely.
Oh, come on!
Guys!
Come on, guys! Don't tell me. Is it Ian McKellen?
Stop!
Is that Ian McKellen?
Stop!
No way, dude. Is it Magneto? No. Oh, it's Pietro! No, oh, dude, are you kidding me? He's not from the same universe.
Long lost bro get to squeeze his
She doesn't-
sister to death or what?
it's Evan Peters Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Past Pietro?
He was in the X-Men as Quicksilver, so this is a different
Yep.
universe
They just
version of him. They've
okay.
created an X-Men crossover.
I think I heard something that this might happen.
Things just got real in like 3 ways at once in
Dude.
this show.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man, what an ending.
Woo!
Okay, so wait a minute.
What?
Dude, okay. So right off the bat, my first thought was like, okay, the whole like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man thing for Spider-Man 3, like we just got the multiverse. Like pretty much for the first time in the MCU.
Yeah.
Crossover,
Yeah.
multiple different. Like that's not the Pietro from Age of Ultron that we know. That's not Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? But that's
That
his
was
name.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, and this was Evan Peters from the X-Men
From the X-Men.
franchise before it was reacquired. So we saw
They
one
just
other.
blew open so many doors that you can't even like.
So we saw this is the second time we've seen this happen, kind of at the very end of Spider-Man: Far From Home. You saw the legendary J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. He's
Sure.
the
Oh, okay. Yeah.
tabloid editor reporter
Yeah.
guy. So he was officially the first actor to come from a non-MCU film playing the same character in an MCU
Although that's
film.
less exclusively like multiverse and more just sort of like, you know.
So it's like a little teaser,
little nod,
though,
yeah.
because that's the first time that's happened.
Sure.
He played the same character in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, and so this is another sort of example of the same thing happening. This is a non-MCU actor playing the same character within the MCU, and
Yeah.
this is another universe coming into this universe.
Yeah, I forgot Quicksilver has white hair. So when I saw him from the back, I was like, wait, is this going
Is
to be
it
Magneto?
somebody
Like, I thought it was
old?
going to be.
But it's
Ian
Evan
McKellen.
Peters.
Even, yeah, that. Wow. Wow, dude. Okay, so.
Dude!
All right, so pretty much the bulk of the episode is like Vision slowly waking up to the fact of what's going on and like becoming more aware of it, and also he's not tolerant of it. He's trying to convince Wanda that what she's doing is wrong, and that she doesn't have the authority to just like bring him back to life and do all this to these people that have families. Like Norm was the first one where he was like, oh, he like was able to control the computer, so he
He had that get out moment where he was like,
he woke
"Stop
Norm
doing
up,
this
and
to
Norm
me.
was like,
I have
"Help
a
me,"
family."
basically.
Yeah.
So Norm got his cry for help out.
What we learned from sort of the folks at SWORD is that Vision had basically a DNR, a do not resuscitate order of sorts, because he, in the real world, because he doesn't want to be used as a weapon. He was
yeah.
Ultron once, and he doesn't want to be Ultron again, or he doesn't want to leave anything open to that possibility. And so she's disregarding his express wishes for her own personal selfish reasons, basically. And she gave that speech to her sons about the dog.
Yep.
It's a very facile metaphor. It's not lost on anybody that she's really, the advice that she's giving them is advice that she needs to take herself.
Yeah.
And so we saw him sort of really confused but aware that something was up over the first several episodes. And this week, when he had that get out moment with Norm, he really realized fully what was going on. He got the email. He fully knows what's going on, and he's not okay with it. And so that's something she's going to have to deal with. She can't keep him sort of blissfully ignorant anymore. Now she's going to have to contend with this whole other person.
They even almost fought for a second. Like they confronted each. He was like,
Well, and you know, the source of their power is the
What
same.
aren't you telling me?
This is interesting because the source of their power is the same Infinity Stone. If you remember, she and Pietra were experimented on by Baron von Strucker. He was using Loki's scepter, the Chitauri scepter, which had the Mind Stone inside of it originally, and that's later the stone that went into Vision's head when he manifested and integrated.
There you go.
So they actually, the source of their power in the real world before he died was the same Infinity Stone, and so now they're sort of dueling powerful entities who want different things.
yeah.
So
Yeah, they definitely.
shit's gonna blow up.
It was immediately obvious that the director guy, that Monica Rambeau, like wakes up and it seems like, oh, like he took the job that was supposed to be hers, and now he feels threatened by Monica Rambeau. But like now it was like he's definitely a bad guy.
Is he a bad guy or is he working for a bad guy? What's his real
Yeah, is he really
agenda
that? Yeah, exactly.
here?
Yeah, there's definitely
He
nefarious.
was way too quick to
things
look
going
for
on
an
there.
excuse to try to get
Kill
rid of
her.
her.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, just take the shot.
Right.
Yeah, obviously those characters are always trigger happy, like I said, but he definitely has other motives that we're obviously going to learn more about, whether or not that has connections to Mephisto or maybe he is Mephisto.
I've got to say, the way that ended was not what I was expecting. Like, it was going to be somebody, but that was, in a million years, I would never have made that
this is only the
prediction.
5th episode, so technically this is like the midway point.
Yeah, we've got several to go
essentially.
still.
So, like, that's not, I don't even think that's the crazy huge, like, mic drop moment of the season. That you know, like I said, there was something about Paul Bettany mentioning an actor that he's always wanted to work with. I don't think Evan Peters is that
all due
actor.
respect, I don't think that's Evan Peters.
Yeah, so I'm still holding out hope that it's possibly going to be Charles Xavier, because he does play a role in the House of M, the Scarlet Witch comic.
Yep.
So does Wolverine, actually, but so we just got Evan Peters Quicksilver, so now it's, like I said, they blow the doors wide open here now. Almost anything
Now
is
sort of
possible.
the entire X-Men
X-Men in
cast
general,
of characters is fair game now.
but from multiple different universes. Like, you
Right.
could have multiple different, you could have multiple versions of the same character, like Spider-Man, for instance. They can have multiple Spider-Mans, but I mean, it's hard to kind of process all of this at once and figure out what they're going to do with it.
This was a really meaty episode. Even though there were times when it really seemed to sort of wallow in these sitcom details. It was like, that classic episode of every sort of silly sitcom where you suddenly get, like, the real life lesson story. Somebody dies and
the dog dies and you have to explain it to the kids.
Yeah, but it's like one of those real life lesson moments.
And then the piano music plays in the background.
Yeah,
and
very Family
like,
Ties.
Yeah.
Family Ties was famous for that, where it was hilarious and the jokes were really funny, but then you'd get these really serious sort of moments between the family members.
Yeah, well, there really was so much that happened in this episode. Like, Wanda exited the bubble to confront all the dudes with guns and be like, back the fuck up, stay out of my house. And then she put that, like, her Scarlet force field, she made it look like it was like, now no one's coming in, nothing's coming in or out now. Like,
literally
it's just,
put up a firewall.
Yeah.
It was interesting because throughout the episode, as all the sort of cute 1980s stuff was happening, we gradually saw multiple characters sort of readily acknowledge that she was in charge. Catherine Hahn did it, and then the Postman did it. There was that really creepy moment where Catherine Hahn was like, "What should I do, director? Should I take that back to the top of the scene?"
Yep.
Literally sort of cast
That was the first thing
her.
that made Vision be like, what was that?
What was that?
And then,
And then he went into the office and the whole thing happened. But so we definitely saw multiple people acknowledging it's all Wanda. She's pulling the strings. She's in charge. They're going to do whatever she tells them to do. And then she's been saying this whole time, I want to fit in. But she's sort of, we're past that now.
Yeah.
We're past trying to fit in. She's just going to cling to the strings of this and make it work however she can. And there are probably going to be casualties. She's going to have to sort of clutch harder and harder at this reality that she's created, and that's probably going to have some collateral.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because Vision is already dead, so it's kind of hard to, like, lose him again. But, like, Vision may actually... I mean, because, in Infinity War, he's essentially, like, sacrificing himself because he has to, and it's like, it's okay, I'm ready to go. Like, here it's like, he may have to sacrifice himself in order to, like, prove a point or to, like, get Wanda to release everybody. It's like all the lives of all these people, Vision clearly has, like, the ethical and the moral compass to be able to be like, this is wrong. Whether or not you and I get to live our dream life out is irrelevant when you're keeping all these 1,000 people hostage or whatever.
And that compassion is what separated him from Ultron in the first place.
Exactly.
That's a huge part of how he was able to manifest and defeat the part of himself that was Ultron
100%.
was by having compassion and by trying to save as many people as possible and leaving no one behind. So that's his moral compass, that's his moral center, and he's going to fight for that while she's fighting for him and for her own reasons here. So
and like in I like it when villains, because here, like, obviously Wanda Maximoff, like, we like the character, like, she's a good guy to us, and whether or not she becomes, an antagonist doesn't mean that she's a bad person. So, like, her villainy is obviously temporary, because, like, you want in the end to see her, come back to being a good guy. You don't want to see her, literally just fall off the deep end and become just evil. I'm not expecting that to happen. The director made some comment about, like, I don't remember what he said, but I was like, oh, are they going to finally, like, call her Scarlet Witch or give her that name?
So they made an allusion to that. There was that whole scene where they had a lot of sort of tongue-in-cheek, like, yuck, 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 dramaturgical exposition going on, and that's basically, it serves two functions. One is sort of anyone who hasn't obsessively watched the whole MCU franchise gets sort of caught up with the facts of the case really quickly. Like, it's classic exposition where you come on stage and say, this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and here we are today.
Yeah.
But within the show, it also sort of opens the door to a few more things that are going to happen. Like, they never called her Scarlet Witch in the Avengers movies. She was always just referred to as Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first hint that we're about to see this character that, as it was created in the comic books, we're going to see more of the comic book version of this character.
But also, I mean, obviously
Scarlet
there's
Witch.
little things like, like the hex, like she's calling it, it's short for hexagon, but it's also like a witch's hex. Like there's, and obviously we've been saying for weeks, like there's potentially, this could be a coven. There's other witches here.
Mm-hmm.
Agnes could be, Agatha Harkness. We haven't seen Dottie in a few episodes, but we're thinking there might be other witches because there was that like Stepford Wives meeting where they were like, for the children.
Mm-hmm.
And then this week Vision was like, why are there no kids in Westview? She's like, oh, stop it. It's like, oh, there legitimately aren't any other children in Westview.
And why is that?
But the witches were like, for the children. That makes me think like, oh, they may be actually wanting to like take the powers from their children or take their children, or because I think one of the things Mephisto may be, he may come into play here is like him setting up this whole, because Wanda mentioned, she's like, I don't even remember how this started. She's in control of it, but neither her nor Vision remember where this all originated. Essentially, it just started happening.
We did get that one scene of her.
So Mephisto may have set all this up so that Wanda could make this happen, so that they could make children, so that they can then steal the children,
playing the long game,
take their powers. Yeah.
So somebody, Mephisto or someone else, might be playing the long game here. So somebody might have a larger game plan than what we're even aware of with this. But I think for sure we're seeing the next generation of Avengers, the next generation of Marvel characters coming up here, growing up so fast.
Yeah, the boys, they aged themselves from like babies to 4 years old in an instant, and they went from 4 to 10 just to get a dog. So they've already like become 10-year-olds. That's they could potentially age up again.
Yeah, and once again we had this really weird sort of The Shining moment with them standing there at the bottom of the stairs looking creepy. There were so many visual elements that didn't go together in that scene. Like, then there's just this weird shot of Catherine Hahn like drinking in the pass-through for no reason, and there was so much weird stuff going on. But there was sort of horror movie, 80s feel-good sitcom, sci-fi fantasy. There was sort of all this stuff going on at once, and it was a really unsettling scene because they were disparate elements that visually and sort of thematically don't match. But that's exactly what's happening. We're getting it's another symbol. It's sort of a television language symbol of this clash of elements that are coming into play.
Another thing that they kind of touched on that we had mentioned last week was the whole like, oh, her 70s clothing is still there when she left the bubble, so it was, the whatever Wanda created out there stayed the same. But then we found out that like, no, the Kevlar from her vest actually like infused into her 70s clothing.
So she had these fabulous bell bottoms, but they're actually
bulletproof bell bottoms. Yeah. But that raises the huge question of like, can something like Vision, who is dead in reality, but she's resurrected his corpse, can his corpse then leave and still be alive because for the same reasons? So same thing goes for their children now that they've been created in there. They mentioned something about that where they were like, oh yeah, all of this is like the props or whatever are created by Wanda or manufactured by Wanda, but the children are actually real.
Yeah, they're her kids.
Yeah.
And the things in there are real. The material, the people, the set design, the clothes.
Yeah.
All that stuff that Monica and Darcy were talking about, that is all real. So yeah.
So what's crazy is that like she opened the door to Evan Peters and like it wasn't like, who are you? She had a like expression. So like even though it's like an alternate universe version of her brother, who technically she shouldn't know, but like he's dressed like him, looks like him, has the same.
Yeah.
And it all made sense to her in some way, even though like technically Evan Peters she doesn't know who that is.
Right.
She knew that it was her brother. She had also just mentioned Pietro to her kids. They asked if he had a brother, and then the same thing happened.
She was
Geraldine
thinking about it,
the
and then he
episode
showed up.
where she said Pietro was killed by Ultron, and she was like, "What?" So, dude.
And, like, physically, where did he come from? That's the other thing. These folks, the neighbors, etc., those are real people who are being held hostage.
Yep.
Right? Get
Oh,
out
that's
style.
a good point. Yeah, where
and
did he come from?
Vision is apparently a physical body that she stole from the morgue.
Yeah.
She physically, although it was in
No,
a...
you're
in a-
right, though. There
like
would
her-
have to be
she
some kind of,
physically gave
like,
birth to the
rift
twins.
in order for him to come through.
Physically, what is here? Who is here? How is he there?
Yeah, that is a really good point. Because
Is there a rift between multiverse dimensions?
Because
Like,
there
did he
was no
come
like
through?
event that made that happen. He just showed up, so he would have had
Right.
to, he couldn't have come from outside. She put the big Wanda Scarlet, firewall up or whatever. So
Mhm.
literally nothing's coming in and out. He would have had to have already been in there.
So how is he there?
Dude, more questions.
Nothing but questions.
I'm pretty sure hopefully we're gonna, get some more answers next week, and hopefully some more questions, and hopefully another crazy mic drop moment like that, because that was
That was an insane moment, but I have to say this was the episode that left me sort of the most confused and fuzzy. We had this big moment at the end, but other than that, there was so much stuff where it was like, what is happening? This
Definitely
could
a
go
lot more
either
tension
way.
now. A lot more tension now, specifically because of Vision being more aware of what's going on, and him not only questioning himself, but directly confronting Wanda about it, and actually
reclaiming his own power.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only going to get crazier from here.
Witch versus witch, etc.
All right.
Superhero versus superhero.
So this was a pretty crazy episode. We'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
See ya.